I see the vision. I finally think I see the vision. I think I understand what the Warriors wanted to do when they made the trade for KP. At first, I'm not gonna lie to you, when we got him on the team and he was not playing and it looked like he was not going to be healthy, I was a little worried. I definitely was, but I'm not saying I'm a believer just as of yet. But I am more intrigued than I ever was. But not only just last night's game against the Nuggets, but just pretty much the games even leading up to it. Now, I did not really want to speak on those games because, let's be honest, it was the Nets and the Wizards. Two teams that's tanking, two teams that showed their methods and their ways of tanking, which, yeah, the league definitely does need to put a stop to this, because that is one thing to tank, and then it's another way to do it so blatantly. Just the fact that the dude, Alex Sarr, just the fact that he fouled out the game in the third quarter and was seen on the bench with the biggest smile on his face, I could not believe my eyes. So, like, just in how openly blatant they are with taking, I think that it needs some type of adjustment. And I've seen the league propose three ideas. I might need it. I'm gonna look into them a little later, but yeah, because I think that's just a bad look for the league in general. That's pretty much what's been going on this whole season as far as with these teams at the bottom half. But until they fix it, I'm all for it. Like I said, y'all already know my stance. I don't think Steph Curry should play this rest of the season, but what do I know? Now, like I said, from last night's game, not a believer, but it's definitely making me see that we are trending in the right direction. Up until this point, I've been some people would say pessimistic, but I would say realistic with this team. But like I said, just from the stretch of games we've had with the performance of Pods, Gee, and KP, and the games that they put together, I was like, okay, maybe we got something here. Maybe it's not all so bad in Golden State. But I needed to see what this team looked like against a better team. Now, granted, I might need to take Denver out that category, because in my eyes, ever since they won a chip, I always thought Denver was the cream of the crop. But they've kind of fell from grace a little bit. So maybe I might need to take them off the pedestal that I have them on. However, that's still a better team that I feel like our young players or our players needed to go against to see where they really stack up and where they stand. I think KP had a phenomenal showing, especially offensively. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Defensively, I'm a little worried with him. I'm a little worried. I think he's just like a step behind. And I'm a little alarmed. He's 7'2", 7'3". There should be no reason you only getting 3 boards in that game. Granted, I get you're going against Nikola Jokic. Granted, I get he likes to sometimes play on the perimeter. Still, to only pull in 3 boards in 29 minutes as the biggest player on the court, that's a red flag to me. That's a red flag. So offensively, I feel like you're just what we need. I still don't like the fact that you're only taking jump shots. I don't really like seeing you in the post against a small player and you're immediately thinking about doing a turnaround fadeaway instead of back him down as far as you can. However, like I said, offensively, you're everything we could envision and more. Especially now when you factor in putting Steph Curry back in this lineup. Now, granted, I don't want to see Steph Curry this season in the lineup, but I'm saying going forward, if we re-sign you, the pairing of you and Steph will be a scary combination. However, I truly wish we had more slashers that could actually benefit from all the space that you guys will create. That being said, I see the vision. Now, Pods, I need to give credit where credit's due. I don't know exactly what I've mentioned in my previous videos on Pods, because I know I intended on making a separate, an individual video speaking of him specifically and how I also want him off the team, along with Draymond Green, along with Steve Kerr. However, what he's shown me in these stretch of games, I think, I don't want to jinx it, but it just looks like he's turned the corner. I don't know what it is. I don't really remember what game it was, but he's just stringing on so many good games. And to me, it's not even the offensive output. It's just the comfortability he looks like he's in right now on the court. The one issue I've had with Pods this whole entire time, like I said, the inconsistencies is one thing. He's a role player to me. It's more so if you're a guard, a point guard, please be able to get to any spot on the court no matter what defensive pressure is being applied to you. That was my biggest issue with Pods. And it seemed like I said, this stretch of games he's in right now, he's figured something out. He's constantly in attack mode. Now, granted, the games the teams he's played against right now is not really elite defenders. And as a matter of fact, the last game I've seen him play against an elite defender, it looked a little iffy out there. But as long as he's able to be aggressive, as long as he's able to stay in attack mode no matter who he's going up against, as long as he's able to get to any spot on the court comfortably, I am okay with Pods on this team. I would not have anything bad to say. Now, I still don't like the idea of him and Steph Curry sharing the court together at the same time. I really was never a fan of that, and I think that just puts too much pressure on our other players on the court to kind of cover for their defensive flaws. Him being a backup point guard to Steph Curry, I would be okay with that. Him being inserted in the starting lineup, no. But the games that he showed me up to this point, I'm on board with. Like I said, just keep doing your thing. I'm hoping for the best. Steve Kerr, let me address you real quick. Now, I know there's people wondering why I'm not a fan of Steve Kerr, and it's just the personnel decisions that he will put on the court, especially in key situations in the game. And I say that to say, there was the third quarter. It's 4 minutes and 48 seconds left. Why in the world? And I say this with just the utmost curiosity. Why in the world would you run 4 guards at that particular stretch in the game? We were only up 2 points. So it's not even like we needed offense. Because I feel like up to that point, our offense was fine. But the fact that you put out a lineup of Brandin Podziemski, Pat Spencer, GP2, and Steph Curry all on the floor at the same time, I just don't understand for the life of me. Why do you continuously do this? And like I said, it's one thing if the guards that you're putting on the court are two-way players where they can provide something offensively and make an impact defensively. But that is not the case with that personnel, with that lineup you put. GB2 is the only defender we had on the court at that time. Why would you put that lineup in the game? And yes, they was accompanied with Kristaps Porziņģis, which is also somebody who's not really that mobile as far as a defender. I just feel like it's situations, it's moments like that can really cost the team a game. Granted, they only lasted a minute, but 1 minute could change the whole feel of the game that quick. It's reason like that, because even when we were healthy, he would continuously do things in that nature where it's why would you put this type of lineup in the game at this particular time? Those players don't even complement each other that well. That's what I'm saying. What was you thinking? It's a reason why I have not been a fan of your decision making for these last 3 to 4 years, and I feel like it's stuff like that. No, that's just unacceptable. Unacceptable in every which way. I'm not going to stress that point enough, but that's the reason why I'm not a fan of Steve Kerr. It's stuff like that. Unacceptable. But like I said, not going to get too much on that. Still, like I said, last night was still an encouraging loss for us. I'm not that mad with last night's performance. I'm glad we lost. I'm glad the Blazers won. That gives us still that 1 game separation as far as us being in that 10th seed. And like I said, with the games we have still left against contending teams, it's looking in our favor that we still hopefully will get that 10th seed. I don't really know the Blazers' schedule, and I feel like I need to look it up to see. Please, hopefully they have a lot of sorry teams they're going up against. But like, I'm really intrigued with what I'm seeing up to this point. Now, it's unfortunate, like I said, with all the injuries, we will really truly never see what this looks like. Now, it depends on how we close out the season. Like I said, we still got a tough remaining schedule. I know in that mix we play the Kings twice, so outside of that, those 2 games, every other team is against quality opponents. So I'm just curious to see, can these guys still build off of those performances that I'm seeing up until this point? Like, so this is the reason why I don't want to see Steph Curry on the court. I just think they're in such a rhythm, in such a groove. He would only hinder their growth, their opportunities. Keep Steph off the court. Let's see really what Brandin Podziemski is all about. Let's see what Guy Santos is all about. Let's see if KP can actually, truly be somebody we can put our faith in going into next season. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I'm not going to make this video that long. If you stay to the end, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out.